Since the year 2001, focus on geoheritage is mainly due to this valuable publication on the National Geological Monuments by Geological Survey of India. This has led to a lot of discussion on geoheritage, geoconservation, which led to the need for a law for geoconservation. So the last couple of years, due to circumstances, a lot of webinars, online programs have taken place, and many programs were on geoheritage. So during the webinars, a lot of discussion has taken place for geoheritage and how to convert geoheritage for the public, which translates into geotourism. Now let's see some statistics of tourism in the country. It was 2.7% GDP and 6.7% GDP as far as the employment potential was there. This is a statistic from 2019 and 20. So couple of years there is a slump in everything, and tourism is not an exception. It has taken a beating. Now tourism is doing good and showing signs of getting back into its right place. And for improving tourism, along with geotourism, the panacea. Now let us focus on the webinars we conducted for geoheritage. This one by Dr. O.N. Bhargava, a renowned Himalayan geologist. On 31st May 2020, the webinar was about Pin Valley. Pin Valley Geoheritage. Pin Valley is declared as a national park by the very good and reactive government of Himachal Pradesh. So the webinar was received quite well, and this was the very first of the series of webinars. And then the second anniversary of the webinars on geotourism. By then, the need for actually planning routes for geotourism, routes or tracks for geotourism or circuits. So everybody focused on that. This one has places that you can visit by bus in Himachal Pradesh. This one is particularly to Khaja, Himachal Pradesh. And this was during the second anniversary of the webinar series, again by Dr. O.N. Bhargava. So during the second anniversary of the webinar series, so geotourism tracks are presented by Professor R. Shankar for Chitradurga, Karnataka. So the dotted lines you see are for actually taking a geological traverse, because you can't go by a vehicle but by foot, as most of us geologists do and love. You can see to the left side all the places we are going to visit, they are all there. So the need for a table with times clearly indicated where you will be to visit what, and along with the amenities present at the place so that the tourists can prepare themselves is given. So for geotourism, timing is paramount, and then eateries and facilities, they are paramount for tourists, because we are going to make tourists come for our geotourism and participate and give a boom to geotourism. Now, what is the right mix for geotourism? So the mix for geotourism includes archaeology, very good scenic geomorphosites or geomorphology, culture and the fables that go with the culture. So a tourist who comes to the place will not only see exceptionally good geology, but also all other subjects which are part of geotourism. So the Mardahalli Pilulava, which are about 2.8 billion years old, will be one of the great attractions, geological attractions in the geotourism track. So you mix geology, archaeology, environment and anthropology and ecology also. That results in Indian geoparks. Geoparks in India, we can call them Indian geoparks. Give it any name. It will result in that. So during the webinars, we also had a couple of webinars focused on ecology. One in the north at Dehradun by Dr. Rawat of Wildlife Institute, Dehradun, and one for the Western Ghats by well-known scientist Padma Bhushan Madhav Gadkar. So ecology, environment, it is very important for geotourism. So now, how we can actually attract tourism for our geology or geoheritage site? One way is to make continental drift a very, very interesting topic for the tourists. So before you is where the way the continent looks, Cretaceous Tertiary boundary, 66 million years ago, and this shows actually India, and then in particular Rajahmundry Deccan basalts. Now let's see, focus on India, east coast of India, that's where Rajahmundry is there, the arrow shows you. And then this is a wonderful section of the basalt, sandwiched between slices of irresistible limestone, and the bottommost highly fossiliferous megafossils of Turritella. Is a treat to watch really. And this particular section, thanks to the rain that was there just before the photograph, you can see the Deccan Trap glistening. So this is the second fossiliferous site in South India, the first being the Cretaceous of Trichinopoli. So how to really make tourists understand the Deccan Trap? Even through a digital signage that is available on the internet, you tap on Deccan Trap and this happens. None other than lava flow, submarine lava flows. So tourists will be attracted with such a commentary. So then you have Turritella, the organisms which left fossils of its shells. Now, this is another very, very important aspect. History of Earth on a 24-hour clock, which the tourists can understand. So midnight to midnight, 24 hours. So 6 a.m. and then noon and then evening and midnight. That's how it goes. Let's see what happened in the geology until 3 a.m. Just like a brand new cricket bat is seasoned by knocking to make it prepare for the actual match, Earth was taking bombardment of meteorites until 3 a.m. early morning. So that is how it is shown, and for geologists it is Hadean. So let us crunch some geology disk on this. So you have the geology disk on this. Let's see the oldest rock in India, 4.2 billion years. It is from Odisha, and this belongs here in the geological time, put on the 24 hours clock. And then soon after that, Earth became somewhat simmering with a lot of volcanism. Then origin of life at 4 a.m. So first snowball Earth at noon. So because water was there, origin of life on Earth related to water. So microbial oxidation of sulfur. This gave rise to the first life on Earth. And then the carbon that is present, it is all by the microbial oxidation of sulfur. And then India has a lot of iron ore reserves, and the banded iron ore formations, they give us the actual secret about life, because iron will be knocked out with the presence of a lot of oxygen. So in a very reducing environment, the iron ores were deposited. And then first life dependent on oxygen much later. Okay, now let us see Bhimbetka from Madhya Pradesh. This is just before the Cambrian explosion, a Ediacaran fossil on the cave shelters of Bhimbetka. It was found on the roof, and Bhimbetka is a UNESCO heritage site, known for the rock shelters and the paintings thereon. And here it is on a map. So for making geotourism popular, we need all these ingredients. Now let's go back to this. So you can see around 2 in the afternoon, the actual single-celled algae, it came into being, first to open up oxygen. From then, oxygen domination started. And in all probability, the life which was not dependent on oxygen probably became extinct, and probably the biggest extinction event. And then reproduction was in a different way. You had seaweed around nearly 8:30 in the evening or night, and then dinosaur just 1 hour and 4 minutes before midnight. Dinosaurs are the biggest draw for tourists. And then Homo sapiens, and the modern man in a tuxedo, perilously poised on a cliff, poised to take the last step. So the continental drift with India, as we know, with Sri Lanka at the bottom and Gujarat to the west, yes, this is how we know. So making a map showing that 71 million years ago India was here, and then 55 million, 38 million years, 10 million years ago. So this kind of a thing until the Himalayas were formed. This will be very interesting for geotourism. And then so is the continental drift, which is caused by the movement of plates and plate tectonics. Now let's go to plate tectonics. This is the irresistible cake of plate tectonics. 2 plates, one ducking under the other, with the formation of a volcano spewing out lava. That's how it is. Now let us bring it to perspective of Indian subcontinent. Here they are, Andamans. Andamans with ophiolite melange. They give us all the clues about the plate tectonics. So plate tectonics in action at Andamans. See Andamans. So these are the theories. The Indian plate ducking below the Burmese plate. And then formation of volcanoes. So you had the barren volcano, barren island volcano. Still it is there. At one time it was almost given up as barren. Only it became really rejuvenated probably. And now also you can see the fire on the barren island. And there are ship trips around barren island for tourism. So for geotourism potential of Andamans, if you make a short list of what is required: tourist footfall at science department, local guides, history, archaeology, anthropology, ecology, and presence of a museum. You see only 2 of the squares are not ticked. Earth Science Department and Archaeology, but others, they are all ticked. Let's see. Now, anthropology, the oldest tribes living on Earth are there at this Sentinelese Island. And then history, none other than Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and his Azad Hind Fauj, their footprint on Andamans, one of the greatest historical events for India. Then, now let us further concentrate on the checklist. There is one ingredient not given. We said that Earth Science Department not there and Archaeology not there. But this ingredient, presence of NGOs that are dedicated for geoheritage or nearabouts. Let's see. Save Rocks, Society to Save Rocks. One word says it all for our geoheritage, geoconservation. Save Rocks. Society to Save Rocks joined with SES for the very first geoheritage walk conducted on Necklace Road, Hyderabad. Honorable Minister Kishan Reddy Garu was there, and a retired Director General GSI and Kutumbarao Garu and several other high officials of GSI, both retired and not retired, they were there. And this event was actually throughout India. At various places it was celebrated. Then at Andamans we have Intech Port Blair, and for the first International Geodiversity Day they have brought a compendium. So the NGOs present, they will give us a helping hand, and Intech is one of the best. They have brought out publications which are really benchmark publications both for geoheritage and potential geoparks. My friend Professor D.R.S. Reddy brought the latest publication, Potential for Potential India Geoparks in India. Then let us now list out the ingredients for geotourism. Geoheritage sites for geotourism may have geological timestamp. This is very important. I tried my best to demonstrate. And then paleogeography. This will be a big draw for tourists. And then wherever you have volcanoes or continental drift or plate tectonics, please use pictorial or audiovisual techniques. This is for a volcano. Then geoheritage, similar geoheritage in the world. If you are describing the Condalites near Erramatti Dibbalu or EMD Surf Vishakhapatnam, tell them that this is the rock. Condalites that are present at Vishakhapatnam are the rocks which are also found at Antarctica, at Australia. This will make the geotourists want to have more about the fables of geology. So smartphone applications, the entire world is actually using smartphones in a big way. Anything that is happening in the world, it has its signature on a smartphone. Geoheritage, geotourism is not an exception. I am displaying some smartphone applications. This is Geopark Way app, and this is Fire and Ice app. See how they are named, Fire and Ice. And then this is Geopark Way, in which the way you can walk or go by your own car or bus on a geotourism track. That is explained. We have one of our own. This is in India. And this is the website. To the left top you can see a black balloon. You touch the black balloon and it will show you where you are on the mobile. The same website can work well on your laptop as well as on your mobile and tablets. Pinch your mobile and then you can see the nearest national geological monument or geoheritage site or spot, and you can go. And there are so many layers which are shown to the right. You can put them on and off. One side for National Geological Monuments, Geoheritage GSI, that is for National Geological Monuments. Please see it, you will like it. This is our website, which can also be called as an app. Now, what are the points of all my discussion? Existing geoheritage sites or the National Geological Monuments, we can use them to begin with for the real good geotourism to expand in the country, and make pictorial signboards, because pictorial signboards which are digital can never be vandalized. You put them on your website, put them on they will be on your smartphone or laptop, and use QR codes liberally. Now, if you have a toolkit, put excellent photographs, then drone footage, and both photographs and drone footage, please see that they are with Creative Commons license, because other friends who want to use them will be encouraged to use them. Please do that. You must have Creative Commons license given to all your photos and videos. Then doable bus tracks to be planned, and then where you cannot go by bus or by motorcycle or by car, then the last trek you have to make, use software like Mapillary, so that people can be easily guided even if they are going alone without a guide. That is the way if they go using digital ways. So put them all on smartphone, and toolkit for geotourism, and make brochures both digital, print them, they become non-digital, but you have QR codes, they become semi-digital. Then make a checklist, a menu for the tourists, because those who board your bus, they should know what is there in the menu. So you have geology, fossils, exceptional scenic geomorphosites, geomorphology, archaeology, anthropology, ecology, and a museum nearest, which will be certainly on the geotourism track. So with this, make also a signage, can be digital or semi-digital, true signage which can be put on a signboard. So all these things with a good sprinkling of QR codes. In fact, this signage is for ROD Geoheritage, which is very well documented and presented by my friend Satyabrata Guha. So these QR codes still work. You pause the video and you scan the QR code. You will get a lot of videos and tracks. So with this, namaskar. And this is the photograph of the group on 11th of October, the second day of the event at Indian National Science Academy. Namaskar.